Hello guys and welcome to Sarcastic Anna regime, because how else can I report about Russia's decision to invite North Korean soldiers to back them up on front lines in Ukraine? Oh my god, I am terrified. A new wave of looting, super hungry soldiers are arriving. Honestly, I don't know what will happen with these poor people that did not see anything but their North Korea. I'm sure they are not ready to experience all of these emotions, and definitely they are just a cannon fodder. Perhaps Russia feels they run out of, I am sorry, meat, and they have ordered some from North Korea. But this definitely is a signal for our partners. You may now allow your soldiers join the Ukrainian armed forces, train us, back up us, because this is officially a war between many countries, and these authoritarian regimes unite very quickly without any bureaucracy. So welcome French, American, English soldiers. There are lots of things you can help us with, and there are lots of things we can share with you. Because whether we want it or not, this is already the World War. So let me tell you more about these pathetic plans of two totally isolated dictators to destroy more of their people in the front lines in Ukraine. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. This seems like official news. North Korea is going to send a number of its soldiers to help with reconstruction in Ukraine. These are going to be a couple of engineering brigades, but still this is a huge step in the evolution of this war, which clearly demonstrates Russia, North Korea, Iran, and many other evil regimes, for example, China in disguise, are already fighting the Third World War. And the fact that you don't want to call it that way, or our politicians pretend that they still can appease evil, well, this is just fake. This is just an illusion, because once again, perhaps when Putin invaded Georgia in 2008, he realized that he starts a new world war. Because undermining all of the agreements, demonstrating disrespect to borders that existed and actually helped this planet live for decades, he proclaimed this war. It doesn't have to be written, I don't know, on a Times Square to be real. And now, after this agreement between two perhaps most authoritarian regimes, like right now, unfortunately, Iran was not in North Korea, but still, North Korea, it's a symbol, it's an illustration of what evil totalitarianism is. So Putin signed an agreement, and just in a couple of days, they are ready to send more North Korean soldiers to the front lines of Ukraine. I don't know how will global community react to that, because from what I understand, North Korea was the most isolated country in the world. People were not allowed to travel, were not allowed to work abroad, and they did not have this opportunity, but in general, no sane country could accept officially North Koreans. And I hope that all of these international organizations that receive lots of money for their operations will not simply express their concerns, because this doesn't work against Russian cabs, missiles, and artillery that they are using against Ukraine, unfortunately, on a daily basis. Of course, these North Korean soldiers will not be a threat to us. They won't make any breakthrough, and I think they will be neutralized really quickly, maybe even on their way to Ukraine, because of malnutrition and inability to travel normally. Because guys, this is North Korea. They have plastic fruit in the shops to pretend that they have products. Oh my god, how can we come to this point in history when countries like North Korea dictate us and we have to react? It is actually international soldiers that had to be here long ago, before Russia makes this decision. And now, even if French soldiers, English soldiers will come, this will be just a reaction, not an action. And if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe. This is the easiest way to demonstrate your solidarity and help us spread more information about Ukraine. This is important. And there are lots of things we know, lots of things that we have already experienced, and we can be useful to you too. Not just like you help us, this is extremely important and we're super grateful, but believe me, Ukrainian people, Ukrainian soldiers already can help many countries around the world, because this is a global conflict, a global war. Whether you want it, whether you name it that way, it doesn't matter. Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi, Iranian leaders, fortunately I cannot memorize all of their names, they are already fighting in the Third World War. So according to the plan, this poor, hungry, miserable, I need like 100 synonyms to the word miserable to describe Russia and North Korea. Can you help me in the comments below? So these miserable people may travel for the first time in their life to die in Ukrainian soils, to fertilize them. I don't need it. Honestly, I don't need it. But I don't see any option. According to the plan, they are going to be engineering troops and they might help with rebuilding. Russia's policy of scorched earth is pure evil, and actually even those small territories that they managed to occupy during this 2.5 years of war by the second strongest army in the world, that turned out to be the second strongest army in Ukraine, but even those territories that they have occupied, those small territories, they simply they did not actually invade them in this classical normal army understanding. They simply destroyed all of these territories. They applied scorched earth policy. They drop like 500 bombs on a small village, and there is no village anymore, and this is how they get the territory. They don't get buildings, they don't get anything. And you know that I work in the cultural heritage sphere, and my heart aches today when I've learned, and I've shared that on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, the link is in the description of this channel. They have reconstructed one of the UNESCO sites of Ukraine that is in temporarily occupied Crimea, Chersonesus, which is a place like it was a Greek city. It might be that our Prince Volodymyr, who later baptized Kiev Rus, was baptized first in Chersonesus, and they have rebuilt it, totally reconstructed, built a new temple. They are crazy, and this is the territory that they control for like already 10 years, and that's how they see progress. These people are insane, and they want to turn all of our planet into North Korea and Russia. And there is no big difference between North Korea and Russia. Stop thinking about Russia in these European terms, guys. This is the huge mistake that people can make. And as you know, I'm writing a book, and today I was reviewing Ukrainian history of the Second World War and reading General Patton. I'm sure he was neutralized by our enemies, and he describes Russia and he says, please do not consider Russians Europeans, do not consider Russians like these members of the Western civilization. They are, and he doesn't say even Asian, it seems to me he says they are like very Eastern in this like odd approach. This is true. They don't value human life. They don't respect freedom. They consider our tolerance a weakness. They are enemies, and unfortunately they already fight in the Third World War. The fact that we don't name it that way does not mean, like, if you say like, I don't know, if you name COVID a cold, it has not become a cold. So we have to remain united. We have to fight against this evil. And of course, I received lots of emails about how I feel, those North Korean soldiers coming. Well, these are miserable, poor, hungry people. Those North Korea soldiers that actually managed to escape, very rarely, but they managed to escape to Southern Korea or elsewhere. We always have reports that they were like suffer from malnutrition, they have lots of parasites, they have so many chronic diseases. So I'm not sure, like I think 50% will not make it to Ukraine. And those other 50% will become a cannon fodder, a new phrase that I've learned because of the reaction of the US general on these news. But these totalitarian regimes, they don't have any negotiations with their allies. They don't have any bureaucracy. They don't need to persuade. Like, they've decided it yesterday, and they have this North Korean soldiers today. Russia was asking for artillery shells, and they have like 6.5 million already from North Korea delivered. And we're waiting. Of course, it's good that we are not on this side of history, but it's difficult because right now, Ukrainian soldiers are alone fighting, and I think maybe this will be considered another Russian mistake, North Korean mistake, that will actually push our allies to lift these unnecessary bans and foreign soldiers official missions. I don't mean those. We already have many beautiful people who have joined the International Legion, but they are a part of Ukrainian armed forces. President Macron spoke about that. Some other countries consider this option. There are lots of non-combat missions that international soldiers can do in Ukraine, releasing more of Ukrainian soldiers for the front lines. And this is a good idea. Let me know what do you think in the comments below. Remember to join me on Instagram, X, Threads, Discord. All the links that you need are in the description of this video, and also a link to our beautiful merch shop. I'm proud of it because it has lots of items that already work as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. We have t-shirts with drones, we have sweatshirts with Ukrainian trident, we have lots of flags, and many items that tell the history, the culture of Ukraine. Go check. And most importantly, thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons, sponsors of the channel. Thank you for helping Ukraine on a daily basis. This actually helped us through all these years, and I'm sure this will help us win. United we stand. Slava Ukraini!